There's better ways to navigate it than getting a surgery that prevents you from having children. That's just not good advice. If you that's extremely black pill. That's not going to create a good future society.
What really matters at the end of the day is the impact you have on another person.
Yeah, so what do you believe in? Like, do you think that is the life that you should follow? Because when you go to the red pill spaces, that's pretty much the end route, is because you're high value, you got a bunch of Lamborghinis, you're extremely rich. And we talk about competence when it comes to a high value man. Like, I didn't have a rich dad growing up, and that didn't really hinder his competence. And in fact, in a lot of ways, being a father will help you become more competent because other people are dependent and you're responsible for them.
We're saying ultimately for a family to work, money is going to be important.
Money is extremely important. But the part that I disagree with you, Myron, is that we agree that feminism has completely ruined most women in the West.
Yeah.
But the advice from this space is, instead of navigating that, instead of trying to find a good woman, get a vasectomy and then sleep with all of them and then understand their nature. Why not just understand that a lot of these women are unwifeable and then navigate around that instead, and just not spend your time and invest your energy into women?
So this is the tweet that Rollo put out on Twitter, and it went viral. The quickest path to becoming a high value man. Do not get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy in your 20s. Live consistently. Eliminate all sedations, learn game and networking, play to your strength, build wealth, and 8, resist easing up on your focus. So we're going to learn later why Rollo posted it and why he can't give an exact answer of what he believes every man should do, but I think Sneako brings up some excellent points to counter-argue Rollo, Michael Sartain, and Fresh and Fit. So let's talk about it.
So that will make you become a full, capable man, which is, I think, the most important part of life. It's the most important part of life is not having a bunch of hoes, not 50 girls, or getting the most amount of money possible, just hustle, grinding forever. The reason that we are here is to have a family, is to create. And so you see the red pill, and it's a response to feminism. You see this doomer way, like all these girls are hoes, all these girls on Instagram, they're all thoughts, whatever, they all belong to the streets. And so the reaction to that is the red pill, which is basically just male feminism. It's the same response. We make fun of girls who say that they want to freeze their eggs and wait till they're 35, and then men are giving the same advice to each other, saying, and I know you're not saying that's advice, but pretty much, like, if you look at the definition of advice, that's what that tweet was.
This is a lesson to you, Sneako, because you're a young man and lots of young men watch you. If you have someone who's 18, 19, 20, 21, and she's young and impressionable, and this may be one of her first dating experiences or one of her first sexual experiences, you have no right to fuck her and ghost the bitch and leave that stain on her opinion of men. That's just not okay. Be polite. Take her out for a nice dinner. And believe me, I know if you take women out and you treat them nicely and you make love with them and you're safe about it and you say, yeah, maybe I'll see you next week, and you talk to them a bit and you're still polite, no woman's mad at you for showing her a great weekend. That's not the way women are. But when you get what you want, when she opens herself to you sexually and you are selfish enough to just block the bitch out of nowhere, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, so I think there's two things here. We specifically don't run around calling girls 304s. And like, I actually have a problem with it, because I hear you sometimes talk about the audience there. We have to separate the audience, almost like Christ, Christianity, and the church. We have to separate the audience, because I agree with you. There's some shit that I see that people write on your streams as well, where I'm like, what the f is this, man? This is crazy, and I don't want to be associated with it. Red pill is not, and again, I'm red pill adjacent. Red pill is not something I get a union card for that I pay dues for. It's an ethereal thing that just sort of exists. Like, he calls it a praxeology. So the idea that, like, one of the things that's happened is every time, because he calls himself the godfather of it, when somebody does some stupid shit in the arena, then it's his fault. And then now we're going to punch his book. Cause now the thing is, it's just a cloud, but then there's a book. Okay. Now we have a physical thing to attack. And now Rollo has a tweet. Now we have a physical thing to attack. And so that's part of the issue, is that, like, now he's being held accountable for.
He should be held accountable for what he said, because he believes in it.
I agree with you. Some of the things you hear are fucking idiotic.
Over the top.
Shit.
Shades off.
You're 22, correct?
Yes.
And you're
32.
32. Okay.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Will you marry me?
No.
Okay. Will you marry me?
Yes.
Problem solved. Right there.
And you know what?
It's 10 years difference.
Yep.
That's all it is. What is your imperatives? What is your priorities at that particular time in your life, right there? She's 22. She's not gonna get married. Are you kidding? This girl's not gonna get married. She's like, she's got options, man.
I'm a 22-year-old married.
Okay, high value men typically have game. Like, they're really good with talking to women. He's
I
not
got
so
options
much.
too. Roller just said
You do. You don't have the same options.
But the thing is, what happens is anytime something bad happens or somebody says something stupid, it just comes back. It's like, now all red pillars are saying this all the time, and I just don't agree with that.
I understand what you're saying here. So first, let me clarify one thing. So I understand.
Sure.
So I think the issue with Rollo's tweet, because for a lot of people, it looks like advice. And for Rollo, he feels like it wasn't advice. I think the reality was, the disconnect is that that tweet was advice.
It was advice, especially if it was on a tweet and you wouldn't post something that you didn't believe in.
But it was for advice to become a certain type of high value man that Rollo isn't saying everybody needs to become.
It said the quickest.
So, yeah, the quickest way to get to this part, it was the advice to do that, but he wasn't necessarily advising you to do that, right? It would be like him tweeting out, like, if you want to become the flattest person possible, jump off a cliff. And they say, well, is that advice to jump off a cliff? Well, if you want to be the flattest person possible, but you don't have to do this thing because you don't have to be the flattest person.
Statement.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
Well, and the other
Which is,
thing
I
is, I mean, there's a few people who got it almost immediately. Hotep Jesus got it immediately. He did. He did stream it. Jedediah Bila, while you were on with Jedediah, she got it immediately. She's like, I know Rollo. I know he's not like this. I know this is a troll. This is the like she.
So if you're not like this, then why did you post it?
I mean, that could be true, but then I also saw
but she's familiar with my background.
I also saw you tweet the next day, like you were kind of making fun of the TradCon way of life, saying that you want to be out of your funeral bed with a bunch of kids around.
I was
saying that you would rather be listening to metal in your car.
That's
how you want to go.
I was mocking the idea of this sort of pastoral kind of Norman Rockwell fantasy of dying on your bed with, like, as an old man, with surrounded by grandchildren and whatever, and like as if that's like my funeral's going to beat your funeral,
right?
As if it's like
heavy metal in a car.
It's I'll put it this way: would you rather go out in a blaze of glory? Would you rather, was it better to burn out than fade away? What would you rather?
I don't see heavy metal in your car as a blaze of glory. That seems
okay.
Right, but it's subjective, isn't it?
Here's the thing: is it's over the top because I'm drawing attention to this fantasy of staying in your bed in an assisted living facility when 90% of people are never going to experience that. But it's a fantasy that we sell people so that we can sell them other ideologies.
But it's a fantasy that we sell people so that we can sell them other ideologies. And you're the main influencer, Rollo. That's the problem. That's what Destiny is saying. Anyways, I found an old clip of Rollo explaining High Value Man. Listen up.
A guy with this mentality, instead of going forward, instead of putting himself first, instead of like making himself as mental point of origin and following you, one of the most ambitious guys you know will seem like the most arrogant and selfish. The guys who have the most passion and the most drive and the most straightforward direction. The guy, we hear about it all the time. You got, don't chase women, chase excellence. The guy who is consistently chasing excellence, that guy is always going to come off as arrogant, selfish, like a selfish prick. He's going to look like Andrew, right? He's going to seem like he's conceited. That is a necessary element for attraction. That's, you want to say, well, that's dark triad.
That you don't even respect or like in the first place.
Even if you do find a traditionally conservative woman that will sit there and be a good wife,
she'll crowder you.
Huh?
She'll Steven crowder
you. She can still crowder you because the thing is, people. This is what I want guys to understand. Even if your girl loves you, whatever, and you know you guys have a relationship, everything else like that, the upside of her leaving you is so high. Like she gets so much benefit that a lot of the time women aren't going to sit there and deal with it. The duty, they're like that. I can get half his money, get the kid, get child support, live this same lifestyle, and go date someone else that's going to make me happy.
I'm not even advocating towards marriage. I'm advocating towards family creation. Well, I think it's worthwhile to get married within the church or within the mosque, and then avoid that whole legal battle. Don't give away half your money. Get married within religion. Then we can have a
conversation.
That's my point. I never said that other thing. You think I'm going the TradCon route? It's over. Like Steven Crowder's wife proved that that's going to happen. They were married when they were virgins. They were the only people, and then she still said, "You're emotionally abusing me." Garbage. That video was edited. She stole it. Women are incentivized to do it. Hakimi, she brought that up at the couch.
I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
Now, this is the video that Sneako's talking about with Steven Crowder, but supposedly Steven Crowder's wife set him up because these videos were installed the day before. But listen to him closely. She wasn't doing her wifely duties. We always hear the girl side of it.
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's not a reasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How do you man? How do you man? Receive love. No. How do you man? No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
You're not taking the car.
Steven,
You are not
then I
taking
will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not for that, Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
It's not a good idea. But if you get married within a religion, and then you could
But
give her.
there's still some states that will look at that as a marriage of the state, dude.
And child support
We
as
had a
well.
whole podcast with lawyers on that.
There's no escape, bro. Child support. And then, dude, once again, those states you mentioned before, if you're with her too long in the same household, that's your
Okay,
wife.
so don't even do it. Just give her the ceremony. Most of these women, they just want to put on a dress and they want to feel pretty. They want to take pictures.
They want
the whole ceremony.
If you're actually high value, yeah, they'll do the ceremony. It doesn't mean you need to get like legally married. If you can get around that,
papers, bro.
they don't want the papers. They don't give a fuck about the papers. They just want the pictures in the wedding dress.
It's like
Bro.
the U.S. for
I get the ideals that you want, which is perfect. I think, dude, 100% it should be that way, but it's not, bro. It's not.
Yeah.
I know it's not, but there's better ways. My point, there's better ways to navigate it than getting a surgery that prevents you from having children. That's just not good advice. If you like, yeah, that's extremely black pill. That's not going to create a good future society.
Right.
Here's my thing. I'm saying women are not going to concede on feminism. They're going to continue to progress. They're going to continue to chase careers. They're going to continue to be ambitious and make money. This is the future of the women. All these girls here are young. So what I'm saying is that as men, you need to acclimate to the new environment. Women prioritize money and success now more than family a lot of the times, and that's fine.
Okay.
So you got to acquiesce to that new normal.
Can I get a yes or no on this question?
Hold on, real quick. Rollo's here in the chat. He says, a lot of presumption going on today. Getting a vasectomy doesn't have to mean banging random
Right, so he's
chicks.
advocating for a vasectomy. I want to hear a yes or no, at least. Myron, like yes or no,
what?
should the men watching this get a vasectomy to become a high-value man in their 20s?
Again, I told you, it's a sliding scale on the male. If the guy makes money and he's promiscuous, having a vasectomy might be a good move for him. But if you're a dude, you're not smashing girls like that, or maybe you have a monogamous relationship, then maybe no. Just wear a condom, don't be a retard. But it depends on the individual, man.
One of the things you said was avoid family creation. Had I written that same tweet, what I would have said instead was be the one who chooses when and where you have kids, and don't let
control the birth.
Control the birth.
Wow, imagine that. From
Well, I understand. Yeah, so
but
I understand.
The extreme example of that is a vasectomy. I
Sure.
would not have said vasectomy, but guess what? My tweet would not have gone viral. I wish I could say vasectomy on Twitter all day and go fucking viral. It's
That's the only thing they focused
So
on.
I understand what you're saying. Then, so I would argue that you do pay dues to some extent to certain groups that you're a part of. So this is something that I noticed being relatively outside of groups myself. I kind of watch how people move through groups, and it seems like there very much is a kind of there are a lot of groups that exist in these internet communities, and you get benefits for being part of the group because you kind of inherit audiences and cross-pollination from other people. And then there are sometimes shitty parts of being in the group. Humans never just make descriptions. We never just observe things. The process of choosing to observe something already requires a decision to be made, right? When you go into a laboratory to study medicine, we're not just plugging random chemicals and random elements into a formula and see what happens. We're doing something to try to figure out like, well, what is going to help make humans healthier? What's going to be a good medication for treating a disease or whatever? That's typically what we do. So when we're analyzing like the red pill, it's not just a praxeology, I think you called it, because even I think in your first book, you say like the goal is to make it so that your wife is not fucking the alpha, right? The reason why we observe things is so that we can take something useful from it and then go and do something with it. If I had an audience and I was making certain observations, and this has happened a lot, where I fight with a lot of black people, I notice my audience is getting a little bit racist. I fight with a lot of white people, I notice my audience is also getting a little racist. I fight with a bunch of women, they're starting to hate women, right? I notice that like if I do certain things, my audience definitely responds in certain ways, and your guys as well.
But you're not racist.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't matter. At the
Okay.
end of the day, I think what matters is the impact you have on other people around you.
So here is my thought about getting a vasectomy. Men plant the seed for childbearing, and it could potentially be irreversible, and then you're fucked once you decide to get a reversal done when you're out of your 30s, or out of your 20s, whatever. What Rollo is trying to guard against is the guys that are unlucky, like in the NBA. This recommendation is trying to dummy-proof our men, and what it comes down to is discipline. Wear a condom and stop spreading STDs. Most men are not going to be successful. Most men are not going to get there. The only two ways to get rich in America really is to invest or sell something, and Rollo's trying to sell something for views and attention, obviously, for his channel, and I just don't agree with his tweet. Because we are here on this earth to produce and create. That is our purpose. So I think it's false hope. Getting rich is hard. Being a high value man is hard. I know I'm a girl, but most men are never going to be successful, and that's why it's horrible dating advice to get a vasectomy, because he's preaching to the men that are unlucky and couldn't control themselves. Welcome to the Man Key Dating Channel, where we talk about the feminist movement mixed with female liberation in today's dating market. Please click the subscribe button, please like the video, and be nice as you come along with me on my learning journey as a single mother dating a high value man.